Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Michael Adamthwaite. Welcome to another episode of the Blue Curtain Show. I know I haven't been posting or dropping any new content these last couple weeks. I have been under the weather. I know, some people might be wondering where I've been. It's not COVID. Thankfully, I've just been dealing with some other health issues. I will spare you the details. Anyway, I am back. This is another midweek mic drop. Anyway, today I just wanted to catch everybody up. Of course, last time we were covering some stories. I was talking about living in Whistler, which was really fun. That was a great time. It was right after high school, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So, like anybody, I figured, hey, go get a cool job somewhere. So I decided to travel to Whistler. I interviewed for a job as a chef. I was 17, almost 18, and it was a really interesting time. I got to work at the top of a Blackcomb Mountain. I was the second cook. The first cook was a guy named Shaggy, who literally looked exactly like you would imagine. He was a really cool guy. We worked under a head chef named Rob. Rob was really fun. He always kind of walked around with a tiny plate, just sort of like snacking and talking to himself. Yeah, he had some interesting stories about driving a bus during the 60s for some sort of group, let's just say. Anyway, Rob was a good guy. Whistler was really fun. I learned to snowboard. I definitely learned to cook a lot better. And yeah, that's mostly due to sharing a restaurant with Christine's, which was the super awesome four-star restaurant that was the other side of the building. Yeah, it was a really great time. You know, they had some really amazing food next door, like lobster and duck and just crazy stuff. And there'd be food left over at the end of the day. And I always went home happy with lots of meat. So that was really fun. So yeah, living in Whistler was really cool. I got to snowboard a lot. There was a lot of hot wings and beer um, when I wasn't working, obviously. So yeah, it was a really fun time for a young person trying to figure out what they were doing. I also had my first encounter with a black bear, which, as you imagine, doesn't happen every day, but it does happen fairly regularly now that I think about how many times I've had encounters with black bears in Canada, living in BC. So let me set the scene for you. It's dark. It's early. It's snowing. I'm on my way to the chairlift. It's like maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's got this beautiful sort of crunch sound under your feet, and the snow is sort of blanketing any other sounds, and it's really, really cold. And then you look down the path, and there's a bear, and you freak out. I freak out. I completely lost it. The bear was standing there. I was standing there. I had my snowboard, I had my bag, and I instantly remembered what all the experts say: make yourself look big. So I immediately grabbed my board and I just sort of stuck it on top of my head, and I doubled in size because snowboards are fairly tall. I thought this would be a great thing. And the bear turned, and the bear looked at me, and it stood up. And I think halfway through it realized it wasn't that big, and it dropped down and it ran away. So that was really interesting as my first real encounter with a bear. For anyone who's wondering how close I got, um, he had brown eyes. Yeah, that's how close we were, and really, really clean teeth. It was only about 8 or 9 meters away because I met up with him kind of on a corner. I mean, I assume it was a male bear. I didn't see any cubs with it. So, yeah, anyway, it was a young bear. It was probably just as scared as me. But, yeah, no. Yeah. Only one of us can poop our pants. Let's remember that. So after my year in Whistler, I pretty much decided that I wanted to pursue acting. So I packed up all my stuff. I was familiar with Vancouver, obviously, at the time. So when I packed up and went home to regroup, I got a job for like a month and a half. I felt bad for that employer, but sometimes, what are you going to do? Yeah, packed up everything and I moved to Vancouver. I lived in East Vancouver. I was about 19, I think. So I'm at like East Vancouver, and I get a job right smack downtown because I'm not thinking about it. So I have a roommate. I have a small apartment. I rented it sight unseen on the internet. There was a bit of hesitation, and then, of course, boom, I'm in Vancouver. I was just done with it. I'm here. I landed. Good for me. So I was going to pursue acting, and I was going to go to school, and I was going to get jobs. I ended up getting a barista job at Starbucks. And then I got a chef job at a place called Monk McQueen's, which was like fine dining by the water. And then I had another job working late nights at a pita place, kind of next door to the bar, if you get my meaning. So I would rollerblade from East Vancouver, like 28 minutes into downtown, which was incredible speeds. I was making a good pace. I was rollerblading really, really quickly. I had big legs at the time, so yeah. And then I would hit this hill. And if you know anything about Granville and Broadway in Vancouver, you know that the Granville Bridge has a big, huge, steep hill leading up to it. So I would pretty much just tuck and pray to the gods that I wouldn't die on the hill, rollerblading into Vancouver at like 3:30 in the morning. It was definitely a trip, but every single time I went down the hill, I made it. I must have been one of those lucky kids. But yeah, always wear a helmet. Always wear a helmet. So yeah, I would go to my coffee job in the morning and do an early shift, and then I would go to the restaurant in the day and work at the restaurant and make all kinds of amazing food. That's where I really started loving making salads and doing dessert preparation. And there was an oyster bar, so that was a lot of fun. We had a big Sunday brunch. So yeah, cooking very quickly became the thing I was doing to support myself while I was training to be an actor. So yeah, there was lots of adventures at Monk McQueen's, and then off to the pita pit to serve people who are just gonna throw it up in a few minutes. From there, I think I really hit my stride. I moved from East Vancouver into downtown, which was obviously a lot better for all of my three jobs. I was working 6 days a week, like 19 hours a day. It was ridiculous. I had all this energy. I was young and silly, and I had a small apartment in a really weird old mansion behind the BC Stamp Works. If you know where that is, it's a crazy old place, and I was just renting a room in a house with a lot of different people from all walks of life. It was a really, really fun time. I was very much feeling like a grown up, and all that other stuff. And then somebody tried to break into my room, and I was on the third floor, about 40 feet up. And yeah, somebody scaled the wall or somehow ascended all that way and tried to break through my window one night while I was sleeping. And of course, I had just gotten off work, so I was still kind of awake. And that was really funny. She claimed that she knew someone that lived there, although there was no one by that name living there. And then she said she got trapped outside while having a cigarette. And I was like, well, that's not possible. I don't know you. Get out of my room. So, yeah, not even sure what happened with that. I think I closed my window and went back to bed, to be honest. But, yeah, no, there was lots of crazy adventures at that time in Vancouver. So, yeah, lots of fun. But it's really kind of where I started my acting journey. I was training at the Vancouver Film School part time under many really cool instructors. I had some courses, organized through, the Vancouver Academy of Dramatic Arts. There was a lot of really fun pop-up workshops that I got to do. I did a really cool workshop with with Peter DeLuise, and he said my eyebrows were huge. And in a roundabout way, he said I was. He said he was surprised that I was working. We seem to be working in spite of them. Your big eyebrows. I wonder if Peter knows that was like a really formative memory for me. Yeah, so lots of really fun things. You sort of get to cry on a casting director's shoulder because they get close and they want to do a scene with you. So it was lots of really fun memories like that. And of course, after years of doing, what you do best, you kind of hit your stride and you kind of have some confidence with it. So, yeah. Anyway, That's the midweek mic drop, you guys. I hope you enjoyed story time. I know it's a short video, but there's still lots going on. I hope to make more content for you coming up soon in the days to come. Thanks again for tuning into the Blue Curtain Show. All the best to you guys. Have a wonderful day.